Ready.
Good morning. This is the Lightwalker's Path, Grow Your Spirit with Rosemary, located in New Jersey. This is a place for your soul's purpose to hear enlightened conversation and to hear inspirational guests and special people like my friend Charles Grant, mypsychicsidekick.com, who has been doing his psychic work. He's telling me officially 14 years, but way over 40 if we talk about his numerology and his special brand of woo-woo that he does so well. So, hey, how you doing, Charles?
I am so glad to be here again. It's so fun. My spirit guides are like, you and Rosemary need to do this once or twice a month. I'm like, well,
Absolutely.
we'd have enough to talk about.
We sure do. We sure do.
So I'm so excited for this, and I'm excited for the people who will be seeing this today. I'm channeling it right now, who
Yes.
will be seeing this today
Yes.
or when it's out, and will say, "Oh, well, that stuff happens to me too."
Absolutely. And
And
the
it's
angels
like,
are
well,
coming
come to
in.
us. We'll
Yeah.
help. The
Yes.
more people who are tuned in, the better. And I don't know about you, Rosemary, but I was brought up in not a scary conservative background, but
Yes.
conservative enough where
Yes.
they're like,
What is
wait,
this? What is
all
this
this
stuff?
stuff was happening. So one of the things that happened, I can't remember if we talked about it last time, but early on, not the earliest.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
earliest for me was seven, eight, nine, somewhere
Yes.
around there. But it was probably in my teen years where I came downstairs one day to my parents and I said, "Is Billy Carter dead yet?" Okay.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, then we found out in the news later on that day that he had
Yes.
died.
Yes.
And everyone's like, "Oh my God, what happened?" And I'm like, well, guys, we're just tuned in.
Yeah.
And why I was tuned into
The
that.
louder sound when people go, or even events. Like I found when I was a little girl, like you were saying that age, I was probably
Yeah.
about 9 or 10, and I had pet turtles. And that
Okay.
night I dreamt that they were deceased. And I
Oh,
saw them in a container and with their little legs spread out. The next
oh,
morning I woke up and they were actually gone. They were dead. And this,
oh,
and I'm like, and I didn't want to know, but I knew.
right.
Um, so it's something. And then really, when I was really young, my sister passed from cancer when I was really young.
Oh,
And
dear.
yeah, and I know it marked me, but thank God, I was so young that I saw it really differently than my older sister or than my parents. So to me, it was quite different. But early on, these things mark us with, hey, I kind of knew stuff, but I didn't know if I should know it, you know?
I didn't know if I should say it. That's the other thing, right? And
Yeah.
I want people to watch this and be like,
Yes.
you know what?
It's okay
You,
to share.
you
Yeah.
do need to say it. There are different ways to say it, but the one thing I'm sure we talked about last time, but I'm so glad I said it, because
Yeah.
when I get really strong hits, it's preventing something bad from happening. And most of my readings, and Rosemary knows this, are all as positive as can be. And let's talk about the
Yeah.
positive and
Yeah.
lifting yourself up. But boy, I count on my angels to come in and say, if there's something I can help this person avoid
Beforehand. Yes.
beforehand, I
Yes.
will. And it's one of the hardest things to do because you just don't want to instill fear. But
Yeah.
since 1998, and I kept my friend off the plane
Yeah.
that crashed,
Yeah.
that
Oh,
made
you
me
could break
go,
them.
no, you really, and we're still good friends. We're still
Yes.
texting. She
Yes.
just did a testimonial for me
Beautiful.
in front of a bunch of people at Alignable, and
Yeah.
everyone's like looking around, and they're
It's
like,
like, who's that guy?
and I'm like, yeah. And then she told me things about that day that I didn't know. Like she said, you turned completely white. And it was like when I turned to her and I was like, you're not to go on any leg of this
Oh,
journey.
you know what happened? They just told me the angels stepped behind you. They took your mouth.
They did.
They took
They
your mouth.
did.
I just got chills.
They
Ooh,
went right through me
they
and
went right through you.
I felt so bad because it was supposed to be a
Yeah.
celebratory lunch about her going
Oh,
to Armenia and doing things for
oh, I
UNICEF,
just
and
knew.
she was really shocked. But then later, we figured out what had happened, And
Thank God.
and the
Oh,
positive is she lived
she
and she
lived.
ended up, mothering a child who I'm great friends
Oh,
with, who's born right around my birthday. And
wow.
so there's you
Yes.
save generations,
Ooh, yes, it's
right? I mean,
beautiful.
I
But it's
got
free
chills just
will.
talking about it.
It's free will, and also the like sometimes we know stuff and we can't do anything about it. Like
Right.
9/11, everybody was getting the vibes. All everybody knew. Like I knew I'd never get up in that tower. I knew that 25 years ago. That tower isn't going to stay. And,
Oh,
other people just knew stuff, but it doesn't mean that we could have physically stopped it. It's that
right.
the vibration of it was so loud that all of us with abilities were getting different pieces of the information. I remember my Reiki master teacher sitting up on a chair and saying, "Oh my God, the towers are in smoke." And she goes, "I don't know what happened. I just know that there's angels around and the towers are in smoke." And then within probably, I don't know, 2 weeks, the towers went down. But she saw it early, but yet you can't. Sometimes you just know stuff, and it's not your place to do anything about it. It's just that we hear it, and at
Well,
other
there.
times, like you, there is. You know?
Yeah, so when you do have that ability, you should say something, because I found that. And
Yeah.
what's interesting is some people too talk about medical mediumship, and
Oh,
I
yes,
haven't played that up, but there are several times
yes.
where I got a very strong dream or hit about someone I had never even met, but they're related to someone I knew.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I told that person, I was on a media
Yes.
tour with my doing my PR years ago, and
Wow.
I was on a media tour with a spokesperson, and we're having dinner, and I'm like, is your mom not feeling good? Like, is she? And he was a youngish guy. His mom didn't seem like she was all that old. And
Yes.
I said, Justin, I said, can you check on her? Because I'm really feeling
It's
strongly there's
something.
something with her heart. And
Yes.
and I said, I don't want to alarm you. See, this is the
Yeah,
hard
yeah.
part. You're like,
Yeah, I just want to give you a heads up. Like
I'm
I do that too. It's like if I'm working on someone on the table and I get an inclination and I'm told to say it, I'll say,
yeah,
"Have you checked with your doctor? I'm getting an unusual feeling in your, like your side or whatever."
right.
And then that'll give them enough like thinking about it so that they
Yeah,
follow through without alarming them and saying, "I think you have this, this, and
yeah.
that," because they don't want to prescribe because you don't know,
You
but you
don't know, but here in this
feeling.
one case, I have to tell you. So I just it was strong enough where I was
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry, Justin, can you just check in on her? So he checks in on her just to see, I said, don't alarm her, just check in. And she had seen her heart doctor, I guess, a week or two before and thought it was okay, but then she's feeling sicker and sicker. And
Yeah.
I didn't know she had a situation. And I said, can you please have her, if she's
Yeah, just
feeling
check
really
it.
sick, would she feel comfortable going to the emergency room?
Yeah,
And she
okay.
was feeling more and more sick. She went in. Honestly, I mean, this happened during our media tour. She went in, and I think she was back in North Carolina, something like that.
Yeah.
And she went in, and they took her right in. They said, no, there's something really wrong. We need to conduct
Wow.
surgery.
Oh,
They
wow.
opened her up, blood shot from her heart to the ceiling. And they were
God,
like, thank God you did
what a
something,
burst in the
because
vein.
to
Oh my
her, thank
goodness.
God you came in because you were moments away.
Oh,
And
oh,
and it's one of those things I didn't even think about for a long time,
amazing.
because I talked to a medical medium after,
Yes.
recently, and I
Yes.
said, well, wait a minute, I've had a bunch of those too.
Yeah. Well, you have the ability. When you have the ability, I guess it just expands the way it's supposed to, right?
And you get the hit you're supposed to, and it's not to be alarming, but you know what, the way I look at it, I'm sure you do too, if the angels are taking this trip, if
Yeah.
I'm on a media tour in New York and something's happening with the spokesperson's mom
Oh,
and I
yeah.
needed to say
You
something in
have
North
to. You just
Carolina,
know.
the angels are like, I'm sorry,
Yes.
no, you're a psychic right now, you're not a PR guy, you're a psychic, and you're
Yes.
you know
You get that feeling, like I get the feeling of either say it or keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
It's like that, like so and I don't if I'm told to keep my mouth shut, I keep my mouth shut. But if I'm told to say it, it's almost like you can't not say it. They'll bug you till you say it. right?
That is actually okay. That's 100% Rosemary. I've only heard one other person say that, and that's me. Because I was saying that to somebody else. And also, I'm a Sag. Okay, so I'm a
Okay,
Sagittarian.
I have Sagittarius rising.
So
Well,
there you
Libra.
go.
Libra Sagittarius.
Listen, Sagittarian psychic, I've told my angels,
We're
I've said,
fiery. Yeah.
don't tell me if you don't want me to say it, because I'm a Sagittarian psychic. I can't,
Gotta say it if you're meant to say
if
it.
you're telling me, if don't tell me if you don't want me to say it.
Yeah.
And I'm okay if you
Yeah.
guys are judging it. I don't
Yeah.
know the big picture. I just happen to be sitting down and talking to someone
Yeah.
about it. And I had one other thing, and this is going to bring us away from the
Okay.
medical stuff, but I had something, yes, it was a couple days ago, and there was a young woman who came in. And she said to me, she said, listen, I have these psychic friends, but I'm like the skeptic. Okay.
Hmm.
But I do believe in some of it. And you're right around the corner from me. You had great reviews on
Yeah.
Yelp,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm coming in. So I sat down with her and I said, listen, I'm really I'm like the psychic uncle next door. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not wearing a
You're well
crazy thing on my
grounded.
head.
You're not, yeah, you're not airy fairy. We're well
E-
grounded.
Exactly. We're very grounded. And I said to her, I said, and I think it's good for you to be skeptical to some extent, but
Yeah.
let's look at your own spirituality for a second. And then I found she had the psychic 11 hidden in, it was actually her manifestation number. So we had to go four numbers in. And I said, here's what's going on. You're freaked out about some of this stuff because you know it's true
Yes.
and you're
Just needs you to prove
processing.
it to feel comfortable with it,
And
right?
I said to her, I said, listen, you know what? I can help you with that. And let's just talk about the things coming to me. So we talked about there were things coming in about some of her friends who had actually encouraged her to finally get a reading from someone that wasn't them.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, love that.
And this is a craziest, it just happened. It just happened a couple days ago. And so we're doing all this. And I said, well, this one friend, she definitely was a sister, and you two were druids together. I
Oh
felt all
yeah,
that. I got into all that. She
yeah,
said, oh,
yeah.
that's interesting. She wrote a whole thing about druids. I'm like, yep, I'm sure she did. And then I said, and then there's this other friend, but this one's like she's been a sister several times, and
Yeah,
then the other friend wasn't quite as active, but still was significant. So
yeah.
I go up. It's the end of the reading. I'm having her pick a couple cards. I went up. I was talking the whole time,
Yeah.
Sagittarian psychic,
Uh-huh.
and I got a glass of water, and I literally heard from one of my guides, talk to her about Rachel and Rebecca.
Oh,
And
wow.
I said, but we kind of covered a lot. I think she's in a
Yes,
good
yes,
place.
yes.
Let's not bring up another. They're
They
like,
didn't
no, say
care.
it. They're like, say it. So I sat down. I said, listen, I don't know if this means something to you or not. And if it doesn't right now, just think about it later. Um, do you know a Rachel or a Rebecca? She turned white and she said, those two friends who talked me into getting the reading are Rachel and Rebecca.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
And
Yes,
I said, see, you can't make
yes.
this stuff up. And she just like,
No.
and then she told me, I told her a whole story about how I first figured out I was psychic by identifying my cat's baby
Right, right.
cat.
I
I know
remember
we
that
talked about
story.
that.
Yes,
So
yes.
I told her that whole thing. She said, well, now I need to tell you. You told me that whole story about the cats. When I was a little girl, I had a dream that two Siamese cats with other people's faces were
Oh,
at my
wow.
door trying to come in. And I said, well, there's a whole reason you needed to hear the
Yeah.
cat story.
Yes.
So
You never
she was a believer. She
Yeah.
walked out of there going, whoo, okay,
Yes.
I'm good.
Yeah, and I would tell you that if anybody wants to hear that whole story on our first interview, you told that story. So,
Yes.
I'll put that in the description as well. I'll track back and add that so people can listen too. But
And
yeah, it's
also, that's
so
the magic
interesting.
of pets, too.
Yes, it
And
sure
they
is.
could be turtles, they could be
Yeah,
dogs, cats,
yeah. They
whatever.
recycle. They recycle. So they
They
come back with
recycle.
us. They come back. It's interesting because you were mentioning what you get psychically. And it's interesting because when I do a reading for someone as well, I tap into the Akashic record field and I
Yeah.
can read their past life and I get information on who used to be in their life and if they're male or female, like family structures. And there's always something. There's always a lesson with soul group, family groups, and those people that come into your life at different times. So it's interesting that you also, we both have that very much in common.
I love that. And see, that's
Yeah.
one of the things we need to talk about because a new thing that I'm going to be offering, and
Hmm.
it's because people have asked for it,
Hmm.
is the other thing. So, okay, so I've been into this stuff my whole life, right? I mean, I couldn't, and again, my parents were not gypsies. Okay, my
Oh, mine
parents were,
neither. I was in a past life, though. I always knew that.
yeah, well, I'm sure I probably was too. I know I've been all sorts of psychic, whatever,
Yeah.
but, but you know, so I've had this with me my whole life. But the other big passion I've had, and this is what I would encourage people to do, because, a
Mhm.
lot of us are like, what's your passion? Do that
Uh-huh.
for your small business, whatever.
Yes.
Easier said than done sometimes, but
Yes.
you still want to do it. So I'm just balancing myself here. And
Yes.
then I have to tell you that um, so one of my other big passions is genealogy. I
Oh, I
have,
just started that. Isn't that funny?
well,
I'm on Ancestry, and
great.
I'm just starting to explore. Like I was told to explore that automatically.
Well, guess what? You just got another hit because I've been tracing my roots since 1976.
That's
Okay.
awesome. Yeah.
And I've traced them one line,
Yeah.
my waspy line, ironically,
Yeah.
all the way back to Joseph of Arimathea, who took Jesus off the cross, who was Mary's uncle or great uncle.
Oh, I got
Okay.
the chills just now.
And
Woo!
all of these prophets. So this is
Wow.
inherited, by the way. I
It
didn't know it was
is.
inherited that far back, but
That's
this love
beautiful.
of
Oh,
and every night I'd be like, no, go to Ancestry, find out more about me. So I'm turning that into doing numerology for different
love
people's
that.
family members who passed
Yeah,
to
I just
figure
saw.
out the connection
Woo. I'm getting visions right now. I'm getting
and the
visions.
healing. What's the
Yeah,
healing? What did they finally, at the end of
love
their
that.
life, what did they need to pass on to you?
Right, ancestral line.
The
Yeah.
ancestral healing, and a
Oh,
bunch of women who I've talked to about, they're like, oh, ancestral healing is so, I mean, one of these people is a Bible scholar who was like, oh yeah, ancestral healing, yeah, you totally have to do it. Somebody else, yeah.
I love it.
So,
I just met and interviewed two people that were former nuns, and both of
oh,
them spent time in Rome. And one of them, she was a Catholic nun in Rome, and she transitioned out of it because she's also psychically gifted.
right.
Her thing is ancestral healing.
Oh my
And
God.
the family lines. She was amazing. I'll have to hook you up with that information too.
I need
But
to watch that one then.
ooh,
That,
yes, yes, amazing, amazing woman. Which
because
right
that's a
now
big deal and people don't think about it, but then all of a
we
sudden,
carry it. We carry it in our genes and in our mother line, and oh yeah, definitely.
and
So
that can be everything from alcoholism, okay?
everything.
I
Yeah,
mean, two different diseases you should be keeping your eyes open for,
yeah,
to your own discovering your own spirituality and figuring out how that can help you in your life and how it can help other people while you're still here.
yes, yes. I believe, and I know that those ancestral patterns. We have free will to, once you know where they are, you could see your own patterns. You could begin to trace back what patterns do I have to overcome. Like
Right.
mine, I'm a nurturer. I want to take care of everybody. But again, the dark side of that is people come to you that need it in love situations and can deplete you. So like we all have these ancestral learnings that we have to come to grips with, you know? So,
Well, when you're that, and you and I are both that, okay, I
mhm.
always tell my nurturers, I'm like, guys, it's wonderful you're a nurturer.
Boundaries.
Do it, but also remember you will attract, and it's 11s and 9s in
Absolutely. I'm an
particular,
11. Yeah,
you'll attract a lot of takers. So you have to be
I
like,
know.
okay, I'll
Discernment
give you 70%. I do need 30% back.
at least. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm still working on my boundaries.
It should be more of like, I don't know. My mother said one horse, one rabbit, but it's not enough. It's got to be 50-50
One horseman.
or 100-100.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good way to look at it,
Hmm.
too. I love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. An
So,
equal of give and take, which I'm still looking to find in my life at some point.
well, you're a former teacher too.
Yes. Yes.
All my teacher clients, and there are a lot of them, lots of teachers and nurses, okay?
Yes.
Nurturers, givers.
We are.
But
Yes.
it's like, yeah, but
There's
you
that other
know,
side. Got to
let
give
other people
yourself.
teach you too, right?
Yeah.
And I
Absolutely.
know you do. I know you do this, but it's like for other people listening, and that's another reason why I'm still working on this book, Rosemary.
Okay.
And I joined this group called Business with Purpose, okay?
Yes.
That
Yes.
is through a number of people. Sue Brook and I have teamed up on it with
Yes.
Sherry Pedrioli. Sue and Sherry actually founded the nonprofit, and
Okay.
I'm helping them with all sorts of different things around the PR side, but also the psychic side
Yes.
and
Love that.
counseling people and doing different events. And so that's very exciting. But we're coming out with a book
Okay.
coming out probably next month because we're publishing it through people connected to the nonprofit. And I have a 4-page chapter, and that 4-page chapter will be previewing this book I've been working
Oh,
on
that's
because it's making me
exciting.
say, do it. And here's the
Yeah.
preview.
Love that. I love that you've stepped fully into this next venture because this is what you're called to do.
It
You
really is.
really.
And I'm not getting any younger. I'm trying. I'm doing
Oh, I
everything short of
know.
Botox, but still, it's, you know,
I was like, just God, just keep me together, keep me healthy. I got more to do in this world.
yeah, can we eke out another 29 years like my
At
dad
least
has?
I need another 25 or 30. Yeah, hopefully
And
I'll,
happy, like
yeah,
healthy, happy,
healthy,
active.
happy, productive.
Yeah.
Yes, more to do in life. So I had pulled some cards. I know you have
Oh,
cards too.
good.
And normally I don't use my cards. I do direct channeling. But today I pulled the first card was personal power. So it showed me that people that are listening are ready to step into the power because of the year of the horse.
Yes.
Harmony and the color blue, which is communication. Meditation and childlike awareness for all things that are new. So that just
Mhm.
reminded me that we have to remind our listeners to step into whatever brings them their happiness and joy, whatever brings that childlike fire back to them. And
Right.
the fire horse is going to run whether you're on its back or it kicks dust in your face. So you get jump on that horse and run with it because otherwise you're going to be left with dust in your face or kicked in the head. Either way.
Right. You want to be on the right end of the horse. Let's put
The
it that.
right end of the horse. No one wants to be at the back end of that
Yeah.
horse.
So, so let's talk a little more about that because I feel like there's so many people asking questions and I'm on LinkedIn a lot now. I mean,
Yes,
I have
yes.
so much action on LinkedIn that I'm almost at the 10,000 uh,
Oh, that's good.
follower mark, okay, for
Wow.
one of my accounts.
Okay.
And I see all these PR people, and I love my PR people. I've been doing it
Yeah,
for years and
yes,
years. But I
yes.
see all of them talking about the year of the horse. They talked about it as if it happened at January 1st. I'm like,
No, it's
guys,
starting now. It's
you
starting
guys are
now.
so cute. It's just like that's so cute. But we
Yes.
haven't at that point, we had
No.
another 6 weeks of the snake, and
Oh,
believe me,
it's starting now, right?
it's so the horse finally started on the 17th,
Oh,
but
yeah.
man, up until literally at home here, we were like, oh, right up until there, we were like, oh, I'm sorry, it's
Shedding.
still the snake. There's
Oh,
some weird
yeah.
things,
Still shedding, still
the
shedding.
shedding, and also
Oh,
the
karma.
shedding and leaving the
Hmm.
snake year was really tough for a lot of people. I mean,
Oh,
look at all the layoffs. The layoffs are the snake year, where it's like, okay, you're
yes.
leaving one thing,
Reinventing.
you're going on to something else. You did shed your skin, but did you shed it enough?
No.
Are you just looking at that dead skin and going, what do I do now? Or are
Yes.
you like,
Stuck.
no, I've
Yeah.
left
Yeah.
it.
Absolutely.
So the fire horse is so fun because that was the wood snake. And so the wood snake is just again, it's more of a slow moving, everything was just
Yes.
there was just a lot of things, a lot of people I know really had a tough snake year.
Oh, yes.
Even some snakes.
Yes. It was a rough one, let me tell you.
It's a rough one for a lot of us, but the good news is those who had trouble during the snake year usually have a much better horse year.
Oh, that's my
Be-
that's my goal. I hope so.
It's and I've seen
Mhm.
that written and I've seen that and the whole idea is I keep telling everyone no gallop into that horse year but and do it with excitement and be bold. Being
Yes.
bold
Be
is
bold.
important in this year. And I think that's largely because, and of course, this is coming from the psychic PR guy,
Yes. Yes.
visibility. You need to
Yeah.
stop hiding.
Oh,
Stop
absolutely.
hiding,
Yes.
everybody.
This
Be
is who I am,
visible for the
authentically
lovely soul you are.
me. Yes, it's authentically being you.
Yeah.
I found out my friend of mine is she's a feng shui I guess she's a feng shui master, and I took her workshop. She told me I'm an eight mountain,
Oh.
which was kind of cool. So she said you're an eight mountain, and you know I'll guess wise whatever But I thought that's cool because right now I need that. I need that
Mm.
eight mountain
It's
strength.
nice to have the reminder from somebody else.
Absolutely, yes, that's so true. Yeah.
Well, especially because you know what, we do have our human sides, and I have to keep reminding the guides sometimes because I'll have things, and I'm sure Rosemary, you have it too. I'll have the chills
Oh,
to
I get those.
sometimes the chills so intensely that they hurt. And I'm like,
Yeah.
hold on, guys, I still have a body
Yeah.
down here. I got the message. Let's
Yes. Or they'll hit you with it like, whoa.
right. And you're kind of like, okay, I got it. I'm paying
Yes.
attention to it.
Yes. I'm doing my best here, right?
And but remember, I am human, and so I'll be in readings where, we come up with all these things, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, I didn't think of it that way. Thank you. This is great." And then I'll say to the guides, I'll say, "Guys, I don't mean to be a sassy sag, but we're still all down here doing this, okay?
Yeah, we're in the
You
midst of
guys
it.
have another viewpoint, so please give a little extra help to this person
Yeah.
so that
Yes.
they can feel you and they can feel that
Yes.
you're moving them in the
Your
right
energy.
direction."
Yeah. That is my prayer too, because each day I'm like, God, just guide me, show me
Right.
some things that I need so that I can continue to fill other people. Because if I'm depleted, I can't do it. So please just give me, like, I don't know, a dream, some a word from somebody, something that's going to fill me up as well, and that keeps me going. And if I know I help somebody, that brings me such great joy, you
And
know.
that's strong. So I am getting a hit though with your dad. Your dad's been here the whole time. Your
Oh,
dad
thank
will
you.
not stop.
I
And
love that.
he's like, tell her I am 100% behind, 100,
Thank you, Dad.
50% behind you, and I'm comforting you where you need the comfort.
My dad was
So
amazing, so it
please
doesn't
feel
surprise
it.
me. Oh, thank you.
And
Um,
I've been feeling him the minute we started talking,
my dad.
and
Mm,
I just he's like, listen, I know what's going on, and
yeah.
I'm doing and I'm not going to get into all that, but
Yes.
I know what's going on, and I'm giving you as much strength as I can, and
Yeah.
everyone around you. That's all we're
Yes.
going to say on that.
Yes. I'll talk to you later because that is
Yes.
right. That's so true. And my dad was amazing. He was very open-hearted and strong and just a wonderful human.
So he just said to me now, he said, "Hey, and you should see me now, kid."
Oh, I
That's
can't
what he
imagine.
just.
He's like a spotlight like that man. Oh, God. Yes. Thank you. Yes. So, anything that you want to highlight before we close today? Any message or anything that you want to bring out to the
Well, okay.
listeners?
So the first thing I would definitely want people to reach out to both of us if you feel like you're like in our vibration, we can help
Yes.
you in any way,
Yes.
because that then can lead to other people we need to find that we don't know
Absolutely.
about,
Yeah, thank you. That's a very good point.
right?
Yes.
And it's all, Rosemary's been sort of she's been out of the psychic closet a lot longer than I have. Okay.
In a way.
And you know and I this has been a big freedom year for me, where it's like, friends and close associates and some clients, all of that were always new and came to me, whatever, but now I'm
Yeah, you're
starting
out
to do
there.
TikTok. I'm
Yeah. Oh,
starting to
good for you.
do all sorts of different things. I'm teaming up with a guy who's really good at I mean, I'm good at social media, but he's good
Yeah.
at some AI distribution. So we're
Okay.
working on that. So
Okay.
I'm just saying to everybody, please, feel your real self
Love
and
that.
help people through it. And one thing I do want to throw out here too, and it shouldn't be controversial, but it is something I'm finding, is that, so many of my friends and the people I attract are very hardcore in their whatever religion it is, whether
Oh,
it's
right. That's right.
Judaism,
Yes.
Christianity in
Yes.
particular. And then they'll be like, well, yeah, but you're a Christian, right? But you do all this other stuff. I'm like, no, I'm a loose Protestant in this lifetime, okay?
Catholic without the guilt, I used to say.
And a recovering Catholic. I was baptized by a mean and drunk priest, and my mom raised us as Protestants.
Love
Okay.
that. Yes. Yes. Catholic
So I
without
am
guilt is
Christian.
Protestant.
I'm all
Yes.
about Christianity. Heck, I'm related
Yes.
to Jesus. I'm all about it, right?
Yes.
But I have and by the way, we all have our gifts.
Yes.
There's no
And
bragging at all.
psychic means of the soul, and
Yeah.
the soul is from God,
And
right?
it is a connection, guys. So if you're having any struggle there, please embrace your soul. Hey, if reading the Bible helps you with different things, that's great. If going
Yeah.
to church helps, if going to a mosque helps, whatever it
Just
is,
pray. Yeah. Be open to the light. Be
be
open to
open
God.
to the light,
Yeah.
but know that everyone has their own leanings
I believe.
in
I
this
believe that.
lifetime. So
Yes.
don't be like, oh, well, they don't think exactly the way I do. That's
Hmm.
not going to help. Like,
No.
you worry about what you're
Spokes of the
thinking.
wheel, spokes of the
Yeah,
wheel. So I just had this conversation in my last interview with someone. I said, it's all spokes of the wheel. As long as it leads to light and love and God in the center, it doesn't
right,
matter the journey as much, That's
right.
just a pathway that we're allowed to find this in ourselves and in this connection. So that is beautiful. And your website, mypsychicsidekick.com, Charles
Yes.
Grant. And I hope people will also look you up. And thank you so much for the blessing of your time today.
Oh, please. I can't. It went by way too fast, Rosemary. I don't know what I'm like. We've got more to talk about.
Always. Well, that means we have to have another segment sometime, right?
Sounds great.
Okay. Thank you, Charles.
Thank you. How nice chatting with you and all the people watching this.
Thank you.